Hello everybody, July 7th, 2023. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. What I said about Bitcoin on Monday is that we were still waiting for either 32K or for death. And that is still the case. We've gotten even more chop since then. So we still haven't proven either scenario. The Bulls had been trying at the time. They dropped the ball, however, so I said the Bears could take over again. We'd push sub 30K. We already did that. So whether or not the Bulls are going to take over from here or the Bears are going to continue to push down remains to be seen. Regardless, if the Bulls can achieve 32 to 33.5, I'll look to get long. However, if the Bears go sub 28,750, I'm going to stay flat and maybe even short because we're probably going under 25. And then I just went over the macro picture in that last video. I'm not going to go over that again this time, so take a look at the last video if you want to see that. It's still basically trash. Even if the Bulls get that 32K, we might get 40, maybe 50, maybe. But then, we can still see a pretty nasty rejection, which eventually can go sub 10K. So anyway, let's jump in here and just take a look at what the action is potentially forming right now for the Bulls. I want to remind you, I have the two scenarios on here, blue and orange. Blue would have looked better had we continued more directly to that blue box there. I like it less and less the more this drags out. However, it's not technically invalidated yet. This could still be 1, 2, 3, and then this wouldn't be 4 here. 4 would be all of this, basically all this nasty chop is 4. So I'll just drag this over here. Could be blue 4 or orange 4. But I do lean towards orange 3 if the Bulls are going to take over. And again, I'm not fully convinced of that. If they're going to take over, I lean towards orange 3. But realistically, it doesn't really matter, right? They need to hit at least 32, and they failed to do that. Okay, that failed to hit 32, and that's this blue box, right? So if we come down here and then bounce up to the blue box and then go down, blue scenario was correct. Either way, it doesn't really matter, though. We're coming down afterwards. If we come into this box and then bounce all the way up a little bit higher, then I'm going to say orange was correct, right? That's more academic than anything, though. Doesn't really matter to like the plan, right? Because I'm still looking to long a pullback from either one of those areas. Those are just kind of potential areas it could go, and so therefore that's the minimum I'm looking for is 32K. All right, so yeah, this looks like at this point it's doing, in the best case scenario for the Bulls, it's doing a WXY here. So we have A, A, B, C, and a W, A, B, C, and an X, A, B, C, and a Y. That would be best case scenario. So in that scenario, it could continue down like right now. It could come up a little bit further and then go down. It could be done already. There's a lot of variables there, and I'm not interested in trying to play any of those or guess what it's doing. In terms of like actually taking a trade here. As far as guessing what it's doing just for the fun of it, I'm guessing that we are going to come down a little bit further and break this low at least. So that means under 29.5. But as long as it remains above 28.750, it could still go up from there. Not guaranteed to, but could. So again, I'm not planning on longing right now. I'm going to wait for it to do this first. But that is what I'm looking for, right? It would have to hold there, likely between 28.750 and 29.5 is the likely area that would need to hold, and then push up to at least 32K. More in line with the orange scenario would be 32.8, at a minimum, and potentially as high as 33,650. So that's what we're looking at there. If instead it breaks 28,750, the likelihood is going to rise at that point that we are going down. This just barely hit the top of that yellow box that I was looking for, and so if we go below 28,750, my expectation is that we go down deeper into the yellow box. It's still possible for the bulls to take over from that point, because again, the whole picture, larger picture, is all very choppy, so I'm not married to one scenario, either bullish or bearish in the longer term, although I think the bears have the upper hand. But in any case, if 28,750 breaks, I'll look for sub 25 again, and we'll pretty much just have to go from there. If we see a valid setup, you know, if we, like this was potentially turning into 5 waves, if it ends up failing and coming back down, we would have to see 5 waves that didn't fail before I'd be comfortable getting in on, you know, the next pullback. So there's a lot of waiting for confirmation, but because of that, I'm not losing money in all of this chop. So that's the good thing about waiting. Waiting for higher time frame setups gives you much better quality entries with a lot more confidence that, you know, a move is going to develop in your favor. So all right, I think that pretty much sums up everything I have to say right now just on that short term, since not much has happened. We'll see if anything else happens over the weekend or during the trading session on Monday, and we'll go from there. I will do another video on Monday night and let you know what I see. All right, have a good weekend.